Hello again, this is Zephyr Green and Diablo 1, and we're playing on the Devolution X mod, which gives us some quality of life values such as upscaling and some highlighting, some different things like that. I have almost everything else turned off. This character is Slice and Dice, my melee rogue. Last time we found an indestructible super armored piece of shielding. So, and we upgraded our sword to a long sword. So we have a significant amount more damage. So I've mentioned before that we have a Discord, something that I am going to be trying out with some new content. I'm going to be doing kind of some split content. So I'm still going to be doing gameplay videos like this one, where I take a game, play through it, talk about mechanics, and just kind of share a little bit of my love for whatever that game is or my experience with it. And other content is going to be more programmatic, monogame focused, which is going to be more tutorials and how to work with some things in monogame. And it's going to be kind of a shared learning experience where I have gone and I have been learning a lot of stuff with monogame, and so I'm going to condense that or restructure pieces of other tutorials that I've done. So many of them are still or were X and A, and put those together into 5 or 10 minute clips, hopefully, and then other stuff as I am working on a game as well, and I want to do some devlogs for that game, so we have a potential for different audiences on this channel, and that's going to cause problems with the algorithm. So what I have done is I've set up channels inside of my Discord server so that every time a new video is posted, it will be posted into those subcategories. So instead of just subscribing, I still would like you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Instead of just subscribing, you don't necessarily have to ring the bell, so to say, on YouTube. If you don't want every single video, you can use the Discord for those announcements, so to say, instead. And that way you can just follow the things that you want to follow. I'm going to do something different. So I have a bit of a rant at the end of my previous recording, and I'm going to edit it up and slap it into this video. So I'm not going to be talking too much about gameplay during that period of time. Just so that I can fit the two different audio files together. So, just gonna go ahead and start running through stuff here. I think that this top-down RPG, top-down, dungeon crawler is actually the perfect form of basic structure to actually tell a compelling story, similar to how I feel about turn-based or semi-turn-based Final Fantasy games. Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10. I stopped playing after that. But Final Fantasy 1 was one of the first games I ever played. And I think that the idea that Diablo players don't want a story is erroneous. I think players want an avoidable story. I think players want a mysterious story, something that they have to piece together and put together, not something that's necessarily just handed to them. Diablo 3 has 1 billion lore books, but I couldn't tell you what half of them say. And I probably collected all of them. More than once, even. And along the lines of just being able to tell a compelling story inside of a game, I think is a big aspect of what games are. Games are a series of experiences, or systems upon systems, especially now. And I think that gaming is still very much a... Maybe this is a cold take. I'm sorry if it is to you. I think gaming is still a very immature medium. I mean immature as in it hasn't grown up yet. We've got spectacular looking games, but many games don't have compelling stories, and little things could change. BioShock 1 is a compelling story. but your decisions are meaningless. They wanted to make it so that if you didn't, like, kill the little sisters or whatever, that you basically just got no Adam and therefore were starved. Hardcore mode. So you had to be good or evil, but you couldn't really, you know, get anything if you were good. You were starved. From what I understand, the publisher came in and said for BioShock 1, you have to make this not so punishing. If players choose to be good, then they need to have some kind of reward. And so if you actually add it all up, I think the difference is something like 1 or 2 spells, abilities, whatever, which is not compelling engagement. It potentially means that your decisions don't matter outside of a cinematic. And I think Diablo games need more of that, more RPG scenarios. I personally love Grim Dawn. Grim Dawn I've beaten multiple times, including the DLCs, the expansion packs. And Grim Dawn's storyline isn't necessarily crazy compelling, but the universe is compelling, and I think that's where a lot of this comes from. Just like Dark Souls or Salt and Sanctuary, which are late additions to for me in the like 2016, 2017 era that I kind of started discovering other games. You know, they have all these little side quests and secrets and people, and you can accidentally kill a merchant and get a sword, which I did on my first playthrough. I got the Uchigatana, because I thought the dude was a zombie, and I just killed him and took the sword. And I didn't know that he was a merchant until I learned later that he was a merchant, because I didn't know that he wasn't trying to kill me to begin with. Anyway, I'm not saying that you need to be able to eradicate NPCs or anything like that, but I think you should have decisions that are meaningful, and I think the game should present those in a world perspective. I know that there's some of those decisions in Grim Dawn and some of those decisions in even Path of Exile, where you can like get a skill point if you side with one person, or you do something else and you get a different object or whatever. But I think a lot of that is, in my opinion, a lot of it is poorly attuned or poorly integrated to the gameplay. The storylines are often poor, and the quest rewards are poorly attuned. Just that if I have to go to a wiki to find out what my reward difference is, I feel like I'm not playing the game. I feel like the game is requiring me to trust it maybe a little too much, especially for an irreversible decision. Now, if you tell me that, or if you show me that, you know, taking out the evil witch, I think Grim Dawn has this quest, taking out the evil witch means that I can't talk to the evil witch. That's a pretty obvious thing. You still have to potentially know what she sells and trades and whatnot, but you know that it's like a major quest. You know that it's something that affects the fact that you can no longer deal with this character. And stuff like that. But I do think that these kind of games have a reputation for bland storylines, but I think that there could just be more done. I think that games in general could do more with some interactability. I know older games are easy to pick on. BioShock 1 is easy to pick on, especially because publishers, as well as developers, didn't trust the medium a lot back then. I mean, that was not too long ago, but it was still a long time ago in the gaming sense, right? It's been remastered, so it must be old enough, if you want to call it that. To cling to the BioShock example, and I'll even bring up Diablo 4 as well, since we're in a Diablo game. The idea that your choices don't matter feels bad. It feels bad. It makes me feel bad because you've just given me a game on rails at that point. For BioShock 1, I always thought, and this is coming back to it after the fact, but I always thought, after playing it the first time, that it would have been interesting to see some characterizations in the game. There's some strong ideological concepts in BioShock, and to use those ideological concepts kind of against themselves or intertwined with themselves would have been interesting. Specifically, the idea of compassion or reliance, where if you saved the little sisters, I know this is a complete tangent, but if you saved the little sisters, imagine getting a randomizer that you actually have two different gameplay loops. One is choice, but it's from evil. You get to choose what you get with the atom. You get the currency. But the other is reliance, randomization. It's still potentially more difficult. But the idea that you would get, say, a random ability plus a little bit of atom, so that you can still buy some stuff, but you don't have enough to really make like hugely strategic choices. And then what you do buy potentially manipulates the next reward. So you're like a card game, you know, you're removing or adding cards, so to say, from the pool. And so this reliance would potentially make the game harder, but it makes the decision more interesting. And it plays into it integrates with this kind of story, you know, no gods, no kings, not trusting, you know, governments and not trusting each other, and the ruin that comes from the storyline itself, and all this magical craziness that is the little sisters and the big daddies and whatnot. But suddenly this creates a compelling, engaging experience that isn't just you get more or you get less. If someone wants to build that and credit me, that'd be cool. No, but that would be probably very difficult to build as a mod. And, you know, I don't know. The legal gray area for some games in modding. My modding has been with a bit of permission here and there. So, as for Diablo 4, the Diablo series in general has kind of played on the Judeo-Christian demons in hell and angels in heaven, and the idea that they're in constant, complete bickering and war and bloodshed, and that mankind is caught in between, and that mankind must choose between heaven and hell. And in one of the Diablo games, I'm not sure if it's 2 or 3, there's big emphasis on Lilith and... It'll come to me. Lilith being the demon, and then there was an angel that... The name is escaping me right now. But they created humans by having children, and they had a fight about the power level of their children, and the World Stone was to keep them both safe and also ineffective. The Nephilim diminished their powers over generations, and the World Stone kind of sucked up those powers or blocked those powers in some fashion. But it also hid the world of Sanctuary away from heaven and hell to be quite literally a sanctuary from this constant bloodshed and war that would just never end, because they're just two different primal forces, basically. You get into Diablo 4, which I'll admit I have not played. I have watched a decent amount of gameplay and some other stuff, but I have not actually played it. It's very MMO looking to me, and I'm not really interested. But the idea that there's no choice. Anarius. Is it Anarius? I want to say that's the name. Lilith and Anarius have humanity as the mixed race, the Nephilim, the angels and the demons, as a mixed race. And so the idea is that humans, being half angel and half demon, can choose. They have free will. This is a huge aspect to the point of humanity and the sin wars and all this other stuff. And it's a little less choosing, you know, God versus Satan or something like that. And it's more like choosing heaven versus hell. Because it's angels versus demons. It's, you know, it's fantasy, and it's focused in a specific focal point there. But the idea that you have no choices, whether it be Diablo 2, Diablo 3, or Diablo 4, you have no real choices of being good, being bad, siding with heaven, siding with hell, siding with maybe nature in some fashion, you know, being a neutral force or something. And especially in Diablo 4, where you have Lilith being freed from her prison in a very gory fashion. And she comes along and wants to enhance humanity. She wants to bring out the demon side, the powerful side. She wants power. She sees the potential in her children and wants to raise that potential. I don't know if the game ever actually calls her this, but I have called her the mother of sin in conversation multiple times, and I think that that's just a missed opportunity. But the idea that it comes back to this choice that you could be freed to do evil, free to break all the rules, which the cinematics are you know, are kind of pushing and assuming and stuff, that, you know, people are letting out their inner demons, inner you know, dark thoughts and violence and aggression and stuff like that. And yet simultaneously there's no situation where you could potentially side with Anarius, discover that he's just as bad, and then eventually have to, you know, fight him, or side with Lilith and, you know, she's still a demon and maybe she betrays you or you betray her or something like that. This creates a lot of developmental issues in the sense of art, combat, fighting, storyline, audio, visual, everything. So it is expensive, but it would have been a major interesting point, in my opinion, to have at least one major branching choice about choosing heaven versus hell, choosing the mother of sin, or I don't know, the father of abominations. I don't know what you want to call Anarius, because he hates humanity in and of itself. Anyways, that's my rant for the day. And I'll talk as normal now. If this helm had a secondary modifier or more armor, it might be useful. Chance to hit 70%. Enemy to life. I'll keep that around. This dexterity bow I don't need. Can't use any of those. Get rid of these Scrolls of Apocalypse. Portal. Ring of Magic could be really handy in the future, but right now I'm relying on more of the 2-hit chance. Another potion on the ground here. Elixir of Strength. I'm going to start buying elixirs. Let's actually see what we have at the shop first. I'll also look into how elixirs work.
What can I do for you?
Ring of Thieves. That's meh. Fastest hit recovery amulet. That's pretty good. Because, I mean, we got rid of our fastest hit recovery stuff because of it wasn't actually doing much for us, but in this case, having it on an amulet or a ring or something like that is pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and start buying some elixirs with my spare cash. That's pretty much what you do with spare cash at this point. So I am actually going to be thinking to... Actually, let's tab out, and I will go look at the guide. Potions and elixirs. Oh, okay. Sorry, I had to yawn there for a second. Elixirs of Vitality can only be found in the dungeon. They have a quality level of, or Q level of 20. So they are much harder to find. Elixirs of Strength, Magic, and Dexterity can be purchased by Adria and Pepin once you have hit dungeon level 13, which we have. And I do not recall if there is a limit on elixirs. I'm not seeing a limit. I think you can just keep leveling up your stats with your elixirs. Interesting. There were various elixirs that were included in the original demo that were not found in the final game, such as the elixir of clumsiness, the elixir of disillusion, and the elixir of weakness. I don't know why you'd ever use those. Yeah, I'm not seeing any evidence of limit to elixirs, so it means that we can just kind of keep buying them until we have the stats that we want. In this case, I think it's probably best that we buy an elixir of strength. Oh, they are single purchase. Interesting. So many things are not single purchase, like potion healing. So we'll just go in here and just use these. The idea would be to eventually get to enough strength that we don't need to wear a strength amulet anymore, even though that is a really strong amulet. So that we could go pick up that wherever we just put it. Amulet of Life. Let's go pick that up. Apparently, they appear as rings on the ground. I did not realize that for some reason. Okay, let's see. We've got piles of gold over here. Nothing there. Pick up some piles of gold. What do we got? 11,000 gold.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Elixir of Magic, Elixir of Dexterity. Book of Inferno. We never did find a Book of Town Portal. That would have been handy. I did find that on my mage save, but I didn't find that here. Let's just buy Elixir of that. No, we don't want Potion. And we should have 2 scrolls of teleport, Town Portal. Okay, and then a little bit extra Dexterity. So, as a designer, one of the things as a wannabe designer, I'll call it that, I'm not a big fan of things that infinitely scale. Maybe something in the sense of like Dota, if you're playing something like Pudge, if he gets a kill or is in vicinity of a kill, he gains permanent strength. And in Dota, that means he gets a little bit of damage, he gets a little bit of health, and a little bit of health regeneration. As strength is very Warcraft 3 structured there. But, and I know that there are stat limits here. I'm just not a fan of basically using your extra cash to max out everything. And so that's why I've never actually used elixirs in any significant form in this game because I don't really kind of agree with their existence, but in this run I'm just going to do whatever. So kind of following some generic rules of what I'm doing here is be as powerful as possible, make the videos not forever long, if I can, by dying less and not doing too crazy of things. But this character I'm trying to only put dexterity in, so I'm leveling up my dexterity like crazy. And I mean we're probably gonna hit 200 dexterity eventually here. But I am a big fan of having limits, even if those limits are slightly out of reach. Games like... be careful here. Up to level 12, that's where we came from. So now we're just kind of circling around. That'll be down to level 14. But yeah, I feel like games need to have limits. There are certain things that just kind of, they keep going crazy and stuff like that. It actually kind of becomes almost disappointing to be too strong. I guess for me it is actually disappointing to be too strong sometimes. Specifically in... what game? What game? Final Fantasy X. This is a completely unrelated game. But, that's up to town. Where's down to... Oh, I think this was a door that wasn't open. We have to kill the dude of blood. The Steel Lord of Blood. Okay. What's this one? Okay, yeah. I was just checking to see what our lifesteal was like. There he is.
Blood mortal, and by my dark masters it shall not be denied.
Okay. If you say so. The Warlord of Blood. Oh, if he was alone, this would be a lot easier. But since he is not alone, this is actually going to be possibly very difficult. I was trying to just aggro him. I knew there was at least one guy around the corner there. But I wasn't prepared for, like, 3. Okay, I've hit him like 4 times, so he's probably really close to death. You can do this. Okay, that's 1 down. That's 2 down. Okay, he's still got more health. There we go.
The reign of pain has ended.
Wow. That's, Of course I don't have a scroll of identify now. Long war bow. That's pretty neat. Oh, I never actually used this other elixir of dexterity, apparently. I had 2. Which helps everything. A lot of armor class and whatnot. Anyways, but Final Fantasy X, really cool system, kind of famous system at this point. Very old. I'm dating myself pretty hard here, but you get on this sphere grid, and there's still more dudes. Okay. Okay. Nice. I'm not missing them. You get on this. You have the sphere grid. Everybody's kind of shared. If I can get a great helm, that'd be. Oh, that's 50 strength though. Why is it red? Is that just the default color? You can kind of just infinitely level up in that game because levels aren't really like tracked per se. And I'm gonna have to go to town because there's just so much stuff here. Yeah, so much stuff. Which is fine. I don't really have a problem with the fact that like levels are kind of meaningless and stuff like that in that game. But the idea that you should be able to level up indefinitely feels okay if there was some kind of like restrictions.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
But Knight's Battle Axe. That's actually that's neat. That's a lot of damage, and also has the 2-hit chance. Bow of the Stars. That's pretty neat too. Fastest hit recovery. 17 armor. That's not really meaningful for me. And then Wind Force. The legendary Wind Force. Knocks target back 5 strength and 200% bonus damage. So I'm just curious. If I were to put, let's throw this down. If I were to put this on, look at that damage. That is some crazy damage. Also, my 2-hit chance is way higher with the bow. I don't get the full 2-hit chance with. Well, that's neat. I'm gonna put that in my specialty pile, and we'll move the specialty pile back here a little bit. Yeah, let's just. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Not looking to like collect all the uniques or anything, but thought they should be organized a little bit better. Let's see here. Don't have enough money to repair. Oh, this is bad. This is very bad. Let's start selling some stuff here. Bow of the Stars, Ringmail hit recovery, and Knight's Battle Axe. And we don't want to sell that. And we will sell this, or repair this, and we will repair that. Okay. We don't want to lose our armor. That would be absolutely horrifying. We still have Town Portal Scrolls. We have a lot of gold right now. You know what? Let's just go pick up a bunch of stuff. Because there's still more stuff down there. With 2 Town Portal Scrolls, we'll want to buy more. So we'll go pick up everything here. Not common to have this many items on the ground in Diablo 1. But yeah, Final Fantasy X has like a bunch of challenges kind of near the end in this like monster fighting farm thing. And you can just over-level yourself to the point where none of it is meaningful. Because in the process of trying to make other meaningful decisions, you actually overpower yourself. And that just kind of... I've played Final Fantasy X 2 or 3 times all the way through over the course of my entire life, which is a while. Can't wear that, but man, that's... not bad. I think mine's better in the sense of having the dexterity and the resist all, but give me a second. I want to look these items and I'll continue my little rant. Dexterity, Bow of Dexterity, 27 dexterity. That's Platinum Bow of Perfection. Longbow of the Giants. Gothic Plate of, what is this? Garnet Plate? And this is Gothic Plate. So this is just a regular plate mail, and this is a Gothic plate mail. Okay. That requires 80 strength for... I don't know. I think those are similar on their armor there. I don't know. But they're all going to get sold, so not that one. And now we are rich beyond our wildest dreams. 63,000 gold. That's a lot of gold. Let's see here. We've got an elixir of dexterity. We got some elixirs of... No. Strength. There we go. Let's watch it happen. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. And do-do-do. Now let's save. We probably need to move the gold out of our inventory, but let's go see what's for sale over here. That's some crazy gold right there. But yeah, you just end up kind of over-leveled. And it's not like a little bit over-leveled. It's a lot of bit over-leveled. And it kind of feels bad to just suddenly be that powerful. And that's just me, and that's me in the context of certain games. Like, there should always be at least a little bit of challenge, unless there's like difficulty settings in which you're playing like, I don't know, super casual mode versus super hardcore elite veteran mode. Let's get rid of all this gold. Do I really have exactly... Oh, there's the smaller pile. There we go. 2 more dexterity. We're getting a lot of dexterity there. We'll keep going here. We're nearing the end of our time here. So, but we're getting stronger pretty quick here. But yeah, just infinite strength, infinite power, in the sense of being able to kind of overpower, overscale. Don't care. I could have disarmed it, but I don't care. I'm a big fan of the idea that you should be beating a game around... Oh my gosh. Hi, Star Eye, the witch who's gonna literally run away from me forever. Unless I get her in this corner, maybe. A ring. I never do buy identify scrolls. I really should.
I have no room.
Really should buy identify scrolls more often. Okay. But I'm a big fan of, like, games, I don't know, I'm going to call Final Fantasy VII, but also kind of like Diablo 2 and some other stuff where the game is relatively beatable in kind of the 70-80 range out of 100. So you're not... what's the right word? You are capable of over-leveling, but you don't just take all the challenge out of it by getting a few more levels. And I'm not saying elixirs guarantee this issue, but I've never liked elixirs in this game for whatever reason. They just rub me the wrong way in the sense of, wow, that was one-shotted. Good thing, too, because the next room's going to be unfun. We can stand in a weird spot, maybe. No. Okay, so this is... I predicted this, but this is going to be the worst situation of all of probably Diablo 1, is these dudes. My resist magic is not high enough to probably tank straight up, and they are going to run away the entire time. Yeah, like this. This is... Yeah, this is probably my least favorite enemy, especially as a melee character, to deal with. There's just not a whole lot you can do about it, because you can't get movement speed in this game at all. And all they do is fire once and basically back up. As if these guys weren't hard enough to be annoying. There we go. We'll just see if we can aggro 1 or 2 of these guys at a time. I'm pretty sure that's a magic ball, and that's a fireball. Yeah, so she figured out she couldn't hit me, so she walked around the corner here. There we go. Just gotta trick them. Just gotta trick them. And they're little wizard dudes. We'll have to trick them into coming into this room. You can't hit me. You can't hit me. You're not touching me. Come on. Figure it out. No, you're not going to figure it out. You're not going to figure out that you can't hit me? Your other friend did. No. Ah, that doesn't block. Okay. Slowly but surely, we will traverse the depths of hell. In-game and in my heart. I don't know how to actually get to them. Also, that's not a blockable hit. If you didn't notice that. I can't block it. Oh my goodness gracious. Just come around the corner, please. There. Slowly but surely. Okay, I need a second here. I need to take a sip. Never record on a dry throat. That would be bad. Yeah, that looks absolutely horrifyingly bad. Absolutely horrifyingly bad. Everything I have is invalidated right now. Here's what we're gonna do. That ring of dexterity may not be doing much to us or for us right now. Let's actually see what this ring is.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Oh my gosh. 28 dexterity. That's glorious.
What ails you, my friend?
I probably don't have money to buy anything, but I could go get some. There was a ring of... Is it this one? Magic resist. Crystal ring. Magic resist. Here's what we're gonna do. That puts us at 63 resistance. And then if we buy some of the elixirs I hate... Hate's a strong word. But, that should be enough money, right? I feel like a millionaire walking into a, I don't know, Goodwill.
What ails you, my friend?
Okay, we can buy this, and we can buy that, and we can buy this, and we will buy that, and I want one more strength, but you don't have it. Okay, watch the stats go up. Balance of stats on characters probably also plays into this. You know, you only get 1 mana per magic on the rogue unless you get it from armor, well, items. Presumably this, if you got magic, I'd have to
Sense a soul in search of
see here.
answers.
You don't even sell books of or scrolls of identify. How dare you? How dare you? You don't have any elixirs. Oh, you have a luck there and magic. Oh, I'll just do one. We'll just do one. Whatever. So we've got 48 mana. Goes to 49 mana. Pretty expected there. I guess you could do some stuff there. Similarly, you know, I'm not a huge fan of the negative shrines. There's actually, if I went all the way back to the devolution settings, you can actually disable negative shrines with this mod. Oh, I don't know that I like where I just came in. But I should be able to at least tank these guys now. Oh my gosh. It's still annoying, but at least I can... Are you kidding me? Okay. At least I can run at them. My shield does nothing, so... You're not leaving that grid cell. We'll snap you back right to that cell. There we go. Okay. We'll just do this and do that. Move this up and... Save. But like, this is one of the reasons, so things I do love about Diablo 1. This is one of the things I love about Diablo 1. Being able to look at a situation and have an item that is actually powerful enough for that situation. And that kind of has its roguelike roots. And while most people would not probably consider Diablo 1 a roguelike, you know, it was inspired by Ultima and Rogue. So, throwing it out there. Oh my goodness gracious. This is just going to continue to get crazy. Okay. We're just going to run at you. Okay. This whole floor is just horrible. We may want to skip it. Oh, there's still way too many dudes here. Anybody else's eyes hurt? That's a lot of flashing. At least they give me gold. I'm gonna have to go back in town and buy stuff eventually here. But I like the idea of trade-offs. I like negative stats on items. But I'm not a big fan of just like permanent negative or permanent positive effects that aren't quest-based, I guess, is the best way to put that. Having an elixir that is tied to a quest, which means you get once. Making a decision about that. But just being able to kind of infinitely power up because you have a little bit of money. In this kind of gameplay, I guess is the best way to put this, is not my forte. And it may be your forte, but it's not mine. So there you go. Please don't run away too far. At least they actually have pretty high health. 3 hits? 3 hits is still a lot. At least they have low defense. Okay. We've made it to the 3rd room. We've made it to the 3rd room. There you go. That's where we're at. That's how slow this is. Cautious. That's how cautious this is.
What ails you, my friend?
But, yeah, so, like, still so many more. And yes, I do keep buying the lesser potions because I fat finger them too often. But also because you can get critical heals, and it's just slightly cheaper. I don't have money on me. I have to go pick it up. Eh. Eh. What is the Saber of Power? Is it strength? Yeah, strength. Probably could sell that. Longstaff of Inferno, maybe we can sell that too. Staff of Mana Shield, let's sell that. Why is it so much more magic than... Because Mana Shield is... I can use it.
I sense
Anyway.
a soul in search of answers.
Let's go see what these sell. Oh wow, these sell for nothing. Well, that one sells for a little bit, but like, not really. Let's buy another portal scroll. Where are we at with portal scrolls? Just 2. I like having
sense a
3.
soul in search of answers.
And another elixir of dexterity. Book of chain lightning. Nah. But yeah, if you were limited on, say, I can use 5 elixirs for each stat, then you're spending 20,000 gold. Is it 20,000? Is that the right math?
Well, what can I do for you?
And you'd be just simply... That's also pretty bad. Let's repair our massive longsword. Layla magic. Oh, none of that is interesting. But yeah, if you were like limited on, say, you know, you could buy this 5 times, you can get 5 magic, 5 dexterity, or maybe you can get 10 of any stat, but once you use 10 elixirs, it's done. This puts kind of a choice into it, but it would also put the progression system into it. The progression system being the gold, being spent. So you do have to have the money. You do have to make a couple sacrifices here and there if you don't have the money. Scroll of infravision. I can't read it, really? Oh my goodness gracious. And it's gonna literally kill me. I'm just gonna let it kill me. Oh, now they stop hitting me. Yeah, there we go. Load game. Load game. We'll take that a little slower, maybe. I don't actually know how to handle this. What's my 2-hit chance if I... Gold ring is better for hit chance. This gives me 2 extra damage and 4 extra armor. The armor only helps me against melee stuff, which I'm not dealing with right now. Well, not melee stuff, but physical stuff. Don't know. The magic is probably still better. We could just get... Just need 1 more strength potion. There's a dexterity potion. If I just keep going in and out of town, does that work? Does that happen?
What ails you, my friend?
No, that's not the one I wanted. I'll take it, though. Begrudgingly, I'll take it. Those of you that have made it this far, which is probably very few of you, since I know my numbers, but for those of you that have made this far, nonetheless, I just want to say thank you for watching. But I also want to say this channel is a variety channel, so I'm not going to be sticking with Diablo 1 forever. I might do a run here, one there, but I'll continue to shake things up. So we've done, we as in everybody that has joined us. Done Halls of Torment, done some Hades 2, done Secrets of Grindia, done Bastion, done some Diablo 2 runs on my old mod that is now abandoned because I'd rather actually make games than mods. At least that's the goal. Done some Salt and Sacrifice stuff in the more recent timeline. Did kind of just stop halfway through because I was working on the mod heavily while I was making the character, and it just didn't play out, and I didn't like the monologues I was giving because it was just... I just didn't like the character either. The mundane challenge was kind of boring and frustrating. But, yeah, let's see if he'll teleport in here. Want to teleport in here? No? No? Please? Maybe? There we go. We got one of them. But yeah, this channel is kind of a variety channel, so I do play various games. I do like to talk about specifically mechanics, games as a whole, games as an experience. I hope to have this progress into actual, more game dev and not just contract work. I do currently contract work for Ska Studios. I've worked on Salt and Sanctuary. I built the enhanced combat mode and the randomizer challenges, as well as over probably 200 bug fixes at this point. Definitely over 100 bug fixes, major bug fixes, depending on how you want to break them down, because it's easy to just say, oh, I've done a ton of bug fixes. But some of those are like, oh yeah, this is broken, but so is that thing over there. And what's in this room? Can we actually get to it? Anything in here? No? There's nothing in there? Okay. Oh, but I tricked you. Yeah, you can come into the room and then just proceed to be gone. Let's see here. But yeah, as for the channel goes, I'm going to probably start doing some devlogs. I may have mentioned that in the previous video. Probably do some devlogs and some programming-related videos, just kind of to show where I'm at and my own personal progress with especially monogame. For my first game, I am working on something in the RTS realm, but in a very casual sense. And I'm not ready to show it off quite yet, but maybe soon. At least these guys are one shot. This is a lot of guys. Staff of Inferno, it's probably not worth selling. There we go. We did it. We got through the room. Whatever. That's too many potions. I meant to do this.
I have no room.
Town portal, not town portal. Gold and gold. Okay, let's save the room. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next for a game. I do like to play older games, retro games like Diablo 1. If you want to call it a retro game, Bastion. I also like to play a lot of indie games. So Hades 2, Halls of Torment, stuff like that. As a dad, I'm getting more and more into kind of casual games. Things like Halls of Torment have piqued my interest, although I do pretty regularly currently play Deadlock. You can judge me, I judge me. It's okay. But used to play a lot of Dota. Kind of got bored of it. It changed a lot over the past few years, and I kind of didn't like the way it went. I liked older Dota, I guess. Simpler Dota. But yeah, I'm hoping to do a bunch of you know, kind of devlogs or tutorials in monogame, especially in the context of 3D. Monogame does not have a lot of 3D known support. I know that the maintainers, the actual foundation, which was created, they are working on a bunch of new tutorials. There's a 2D tutorial out there. I haven't done that one yet. I do plan on doing that eventually. Sit down and just kind of punch through it. But they're making a lot of changes to things that I think are breaking stuff just kind of intermittently. So they're messing with the the content pipeline, how you load stuff into your game. And from what I understand, that's been... first they made it into like a NuGet package, which just kind of like auto runs as like a script or something. And because I'm already using some other stuff, it doesn't work on my computer, which is really frustrating. Because they don't want you to download the old GUI, they want you to use this new NuGet scripting system. But if you have the original one on your computer, then when you do the build path, then it tries to build your assets and it calls up the old one and clashes. So I don't use the newer one. And therefore I don't use newer versions of Monogame for kind of similar reasons. I was just having issues getting it to build stuff. And then they are currently actually, this is just all Monogame stuff, but they're currently actually working on, that's in preview actually right now, which is really neat. I've just seen the preview, but a code-first design to the pipeline. And then it allows you to actually replace importers and do pattern matching, such as like a star file folder, and you can just say, oh, I want to upload, or I want to import automatically anything in this folder that is a PNG. And so now it imports anything that's a PNG or an FBX or an MP3 or whatever. Oh, come on. You went the other way. Get back here. Stop running away. Let's pin her into the corner. There we go. Save again here. Do I have enough mana to actually heal? No, I don't. There we go. Oh, and there's a mana potion right there. We'll just take it. It's not useful, but we'll take it. There's the next gate or floor. That's 15. 16 is the final one. So we're definitely getting close. I have to click it. I said I'd click all of them if I can reach them. Those who defend seldom attack. I'm going to look that one up. Those who defend seldom attack. +2 AC to all armor and -1 damage to all weapons. Okay, well, whatever. And it only lasts for the current run or the current map or something like that. So we did lose 1 damage on our sword, which is pretty painful. Since it's actually probably translating to like 2 or 3 damage there. But 2 extra AC on all of our armor makes... What is that, 21? This went from 17 to 21. This went from 8 to 10. This one doesn't have bonuses, but yeah, it went from 35 to 37. So that's an interesting one. Again, if it was more of a decision, I don't know, it might be more interesting. I am scared of what's in this room. Do we just book it? Do we just book it? Do we just go straight down? Oh, there's a chest here. We'll book it to the chest. What's my time? Actually, that's probably all the time we have. I'm going to save it. I am going to see what's down here. Let's see what enemies we rolled. Kind of just run at things. Okay, we ran into these dudes. So we can just kind of put our chance to hit back on. We could also put our dexterity back on. Let's see how we... fare against these guys. They're still hitting my shield pretty regularly, but they are missing. Nice. We'll just do a town portal and leave. See ya. Bye-bye, knights. So yeah, that's what's in store for the channel. I'm probably going to talk about this a few times here and there, because I haven't gotten there yet, and we'll see how that plays out. But
what can I do for you?
Anyway, Code First stuff is pretty neat,
What can I do for you?
in the sense of monogame. Do we have? Hold on. Do we have an elixir of strength?
What ails you, my friend?
Do we have an elixir of strength? Can we get that elixir of strength? No. Okay. We'll take an elixir of dexterity. Okay. One more try. We'll go to Adria. Do this. We'll do this. Not a gold again. Spending all my gold on this stuff. Which again it's neat. It's neat that there's a gold sink in the game. I don't know if that's the gold sink I would want to be in the game, but it's there. And she only has dexterity. Because of course she does. Anyways. Stay tuned for more Diablo 1. Stay tuned for hopefully some other stuff. And until next time, take care of yourselves.